For years, I've dedicated my life to one thing: decoding the hidden patterns of human behavior. And today, we're going to unlock a major one, a secret that governs a huge part of attraction. You see, this isn't about what we think we want. It's about the ancient code that's actually running the show.
So let's just dive right into it. We've all seen this play out, right? You've probably even felt it yourself. Why is it that a person's drive, their social status, or just their raw ambition seems to act like this powerful, almost magnetic cheat code for attraction? You know, it's easy to think this is some modern thing, maybe something we picked up from movies or social media, but it's not at all. This is a pattern that is so deeply ingrained it shows up across all of history, across every culture. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you the powerful evolutionary reason why.
Okay, so let's get into our first section here. We're going to frame this whole thing as a fundamental rule in the game of social dynamics. Because let's be honest, once you really understand the rules, that's when you can start to play the game effectively.
Now, what's really fascinating here is that this powerful preference, it isn't just some vague social trend. Nope, it's a recognized, well-documented human instinct, and it has a specific scientific name.
All right, so in this next section, we're going to put a name to this powerful force, because defining it, getting crystal clear on what it is, that's the absolute key to understanding where it came from, and more importantly, how it operates in the world today.
And the term is hypergamy. Now, I know, it sounds a little academic, but stick with me. It's simply defined as the evolved preference to partner up, or as they say, marry up, on the social or economic ladder. This is a core concept in evolutionary psychology for a very, very good reason.
So to put it more simply, what we're talking about is a hardwired attraction to a partner who either already has status and resources or, and this is just as important, has that raw ambition and drive to go out and get them. That's the crucial part. It's about both the present reality and the future potential. It explains why both the established CEO and that brilliant, hungry startup founder can be seen as incredibly attractive.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Because knowing what this thing is called isn't enough. To really grasp its power, we have to understand the why. I mean, why would an instinct like this become so deeply embedded in our very DNA?
To get that why, we have to go way back. We have to look at our ancestral blueprint. Because the answers to so many of our modern behaviors are almost always hiding in our ancient past.
To find the root cause, you really have to travel back in time. I'm talking about a world that was vastly different from our own. A world filled with constant survival challenges that literally shaped the instincts we carry around with us every single day.
And this slide really lays it all out. In our ancestral past, resources were dangerously scarce. The #1 goal wasn't finding your passion or personal fulfillment, no. It was the brutal biological bottom line of making sure your kids survived. That is a completely different set of priorities than what most of us have in our resource-abundant world today.
So the evolutionary logic here is actually brutally simple. Scarcity meant risk, huge risk. So what was the best survival strategy? You partner with a provider, a protector, someone with resources and status. Over thousands and thousands of generations, this wasn't just a good idea, it became a survival mandate, one that got encoded as a preference, hardwired right into our DNA.
And look, if you only take one single thing away from this explainer, please let it be this. What you're seeing in the world today is ancient survival software, a program designed for a harsh, primitive world, and it's running on the modern hardware of our brains. The world changed, but that deep-level programming, it often hasn't.
So for our final section, let's connect all these dots. What's the big picture here? What's the real payoff for you in understanding this deep-seated code?
This quote really gets to the heart of it all. It is so important to reframe this instinct. It's incredibly easy to judge it by our modern standards, to call it superficial. But from a biological standpoint, from a historical perspective, it is a profoundly successful ancestral adaptation. Plain and simple, it's a strategy that just plain worked.
And this is why this matters to you, right now. Understanding this source code isn't just some interesting trivia. It gives you a new, more powerful lens to see the world through. It helps you interpret human motivation and navigate your own social world with so much more clarity and effectiveness. It helps you understand yourself and others on a much, much deeper level.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Now that you know this ancient survival software is running in the background, in you and in pretty much everyone around you, what's your next move? How does this new information change the way you see the world, and maybe the way you operate within it?